Welcome to another game. This is one of the oddest maps that I have seen in ranked in my time of playing. Because, I've seen water maps, but nothing quite like Pacific Islands here. It's kind of like a mix of, bog islands, because I think it has this same kind of thing on the outside with the weird water wood lines, and then it's also mixed in with migration, because the objective of the map is really taking these middle islands so you don't run out of resources on your home island. And you also start with the transport ship, like I'm pretty sure Northern Isles, like the one where it's kind of a circle. You get like these macaroni islands for each player, and then there's a circle with gold in the middle, which I've actually casted a few times in my most early casts, but I did not have a good audio quality back then, so you can handle that and some pretty, honestly boring casting, because I didn't talk very enthusiastically either, then, I mean, go watch them, but I wouldn't recommend you do it before watching this one. Right? So, this is another Guess the ELO game, which I hope doesn't go as badly as last time, because I was hundreds and hundreds of ELO off. I'm not gonna spoil what ELO they were, in case you want to go back and watch it and play along. Hold on. My heater's just turned on. Sorry. Sorry for the beep there. I don't know why that just turned on. So, we've got Mika here in the blue, playing as the Teutons, and Rafed123 in red, playing as the Ethiopians. Very odd choices for a water map. The only bonuses I can think of that would apply here for the Teutons is their cheap farms. They're 60% cheaper, which makes them 36 wood instead of 60, so, you know, you'll be able to save wood for Navy and docks. And then, Ethiopians do get bonus food and gold as soon as they get up to the next age, which could help in getting some Navy techs or whatever tech Red may want to get. But other than that, these civs really don't work on water. And, okay, it looks like Blue is going to make a dock. I was going to say, we could be at an ELO that is low enough to where neither player gets a dock. But they've done okay so far. Blue is chopping straggler trees for a bit. Not sure what that's about. But you actually don't start with any berries on your starting island, so it's really emphasized to go for a dock on this map. Even though there's actually a lot less fish than you would normally see on a water map. There's only about 6 tiles around Red's Island, and then 5 around Blue's. So very little fish on this map, but you still want to make some fishing ships. And one thing you can do is actually scout with your transports, but it looks like Blue is just going to go to one of the center islands with their scout. And then the transport ship's going to stay there. So Blue is not scouting with the transport ship. Red has been for the most part, I think. Yeah, a little bit. So Red has scouted around the island that Blue's scout is now on. And we'll see who takes the center first. But there's very little on your starting island. You run out far quicker than you would think. Because these are the smallest tiles that you see in some maps at your home base. Take Gold Rush and Golden Pit, for instance. It gives you very little before you have to move into the center for the resources. And here Pacific Islands gives you more. Still runs out just as quickly because there's only one tile each. So it's kind of the same amount, really. And Blue is up to feudal age already. Housed, trying to, Blue isn't really housed, because Blue's not trying to make a unit, but Blue hopefully will make a house before trying to make villagers in feudal age. But that's a pretty good timing, so I don't think we're at low elo here. This is probably mid elo because they're both using the transport. Uh, Red jumped into the transport to make sure the tiger wouldn't attack their units. Okay. Got a little micro there. Red's still gonna have to fight it, so I don't know what was going on there. But Red is going to be on one of the center islands with villagers before Blue is. Although Red is gonna be up a little later. So really peaceful. If it is like you know, I said it was mid-elo, but there's also very little fish, and I feel like mid-elo players would go for some more fish, and there's also just a lot of idols there. So maybe not like solidly mid-elo. Especially because of the civ choices, but it could have been random for both players. And Red's putting up a mill so that they can make farms. Blue still has not made a mill. So Blue may have a hard time getting food. Because it looks like Blue's gonna go full fish at the moment. And then this one villager getting the shore fish. And Red's going to take over the center island here with some military. Gonna put archers down. Ethiopians are an archer civ. Now, I don't... Because to get weird maps like this that end up in the map pool, one player has to favorite the map. Because otherwise it's going to give you something probably more standard, like maybe Gold Rush. Like, if both players don't have a favorited map and have everything unbanned, you know, it's probably going to give you Arabia and Arena much sooner than it's going to give you a Pacific Islands game. Because I've only played one game of Pacific Islands in this map pool so far. It is not common to see this. And I actually yeah, I talked about the website I have been using to find games recently. On there you can filter out, like filter through what map you specifically want to see. I selected Gold Rush, I mean Pacific Islands. There were like 8 games of this up at the moment. So, barely, it's barely getting played, and Blue's gonna transport to these, this huge wood line here for some wood. Now, the game I actually played on this map, neither me or my opponent took the side wood lines. We mainly focused on the islands. Looks like Red has a mill here, and so Red's gonna have full control over this island, really. And Red is still scouting with that transport, so that's probably why Red has a little bit of a score lead there. Red's got quite a bit of vision here. Doesn't see any of the second island really though, other than the shore here. And then Blue, yeah, Blue doesn't have as much, but did see the barracks, and Blue's gonna start making fire ships, which Red hasn't even made a dock. I'm not sure about that one. You really need Navy on this map. Because with how small these islands are, if your civ gets cannon galleons or dromons, which both turned up in my game, both of those ships can basically range everything on your starting island here, because it's very thin. And they, on the middle islands, can force you into like this tiny box. It's like, they range a lot. It's dangerous not to have a navy. If not to go for cannon galleons or dromons, just to make sure your opponent doesn't. And I'm pretty sure Teutons do get cannon galleon. Sandy, yep. They don't get a lead, but they do get them. And then Ethiopians also do. So I guess they're not at a disadvantage, either of them. But Blue has 3 docks. And is starting to make a navy. Oh, Red's transported onto Blue's island with archers. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, no villagers killed for blue, luckily. But I didn't expect to see that. That's, not... my opponent didn't even do that until late game, and I had a castle up already, so... Didn't do much. I mean, I don't think either of us in my game would have thought of this. Yeah, this could mean it's mid-elo here. Blue transports more over to the woodline. And is really just trying to escape with all of the idle villagers here. All of the villagers that might be able to be killed. And I think that lady's gonna die there. Yep, okay. So that is one villager lost for blue. But all the archers almost died there. That'll be another one. Because Ethiopian archers fire pretty quickly. And red actually tried to do some damage to the transport there too. So those villagers will now be safe. But imagine if red's transport gets the archers over there. That'll be quite a bit of dead villagers. And blue's gonna try and go up. Blue has the resources and is putting up the market and the blacksmith right there. I think blue will definitely have the better position once they get up. Because Castle Age Navy is even better than Feudal Age Navy, and red hasn't even made a navy, so... Red has no ship other than the starting transport ship. Red hasn't made a dock or anything. And that villager's gonna go down. So the Eco KD is 1 to 3. Or 0 to 3. I was looking at the actual KD. Because Red Scout did just die to the fire ship right there. And now they're both on this island! So Red's not going to save these archers, they're just going to kind of sit on that island, and Blue's put a tower up to protect the stone. But Red's going to transport more archers over to this island to lock it down, and Blue's scout has just ended up there. This is some pretty good stuff, I think. I think the lowest it might be is maybe around my ELO, like mid 1200s, low 1300s. Or this could just be some really impressive gameplay from lower ELO players. Maybe closer to 1,000, and they're just playing out of their minds. But red is extremely active with this transport ship, getting damage everywhere they can. And I would love to see archers right here on this wood line, but blue's really protecting it well here. And they're going to be up to Castle Age at about the same time. Gold mining is coming in for blue. And red is getting the archer armor. Now these archers will finally die, actually one lives, but the galleys do some good work there. And get the little pests off of Blue's island. And that one will actually die too, if red isn't paying attention. Okay, yeah, there it goes. Everybody's sad, mourning the death of the 4 heroes for red's kingdom. And only now is red gonna focus on water here. Oh, blue's putting a TC up on this island. This could get denied. Does red see that? Yes. Red. You could get a huge advantage here denying this. It's only 3 villagers building. Come on. Oh, that's not going up. At least not right at the moment. The galleys could come over, and they're actually about to be war galleys. So the TC will go up eventually because those will range the archers here, but it is gonna annoy blue a little bit. And red gets crossbowmen. So yeah, the ships chase away the crossbows, but only temporarily. Red really wants to deny this here, but might have to back away. And red gets a TC down here. So it looks like blue's gonna own the top island, and red will own the bottom here. Oh, but the ships can't range there. Red can actually get back into this little crevice here, and still block the villagers from building all the way around. It's at 83%. Blue's got 5 villagers right there. 3 of them are weakened, though. I don't think Blue wants to try that. That is really unfortunate for Blue. Blue's stuck on one town center. Blue's getting Bodkin to see if the ships can range the crossbows. But that is not gonna get to the crossbows. That's more than one tile away from the ships there. So one more range won't help. Although the attack may help if the crossbows ever do get back into range of the ships. Red is in a really good position here. Also considering Blue has a little more eco because of the fishing ships. So Red really needs an eco advantage. Blue's trying it. And Red isn't really paying attention all that much. 92, 93. I think that's gonna go up. One villager may die. No villagers die. So that's pretty bad for Red. Red could have denied that, but I guess was looking elsewhere, maybe. Because if you had managed to get into this little gap here, it would have been, the crossbows would have been much closer and more accurate with the shots. I think any villager that tried to build it would have died there. Now, I'm not quite sure why Red has made 3 docks and then continued to not make any ships. Red really needs a navy here if Red also wants to get onto this island and stay on either island. Because Red won't be able to transport anywhere if Blue has a strong enough navy. And Blue's getting the Castle Age Ecotechs as well. Also a monastery. Blue's gonna try and get relics, I think. There are 2 on this island, and then there's 1 on this island. Oh, and then of course that's fair. There's 2 on Blue's island. What? Oh yeah, that's completely fair. Give 2 free relics to one player and none to the other. What? Okay, that is some biased map gen there. What? We're just sitting on his island there. Red is really going for these archers. Red is full Castle Age upgrades for them, other than ballistics. I'm not sure what Thumb Ring is going to do for your crossbowmen, since Blue is really only making navy. Does Blue has to know about these, right? Blue knows about both. Yeah, Blue scouted their whole island. Blue scouted a lot. Blue has both islands fully scouted. Knows Red has some sort of presence down on the bottom one. Which is probably why Blue tried to go to the top one, and Red's gonna make a 3rd town center on the middle island. Red's getting all of the eco upgrades for castle. Even the ones people kind of deem to be less significant, gold and stone shaft mining. And okay, Blue's clicked up. I think Red's gonna be dead here. Red's pulling ahead in eco, but now Red's housed, and Blue's up to imp and is getting ballistics for the ships. And Red's just getting handcart. That's not really gonna do much. What's the point of having a good eco if you're gonna lose everything? You know, a good eco isn't anything to brag about if you're gonna lose aforementioned good eco. Blue may have to move wood lines. And for some reason, Red's transport ship is scouting this. Blue's transporting the monks. I'm pretty sure. 1 monk. I guess to get that relic. And Red's made a 2nd transport, but that's gonna go down pretty quickly. Oh my god, Red's gonna lose those villagers. Oh no. So Red just lost all of the units that went into the transport ship there. I think it was 4 villagers. And also a crossbow. So Red's gonna put a castle there. That is a 3 villager castle. going up right next to the ships that can deny the castle. Oh my god, Red. This is bad, Red. You're gonna lose all of those villagers. Red cancels it. Red has lost another 2 villagers. And Red still has more villagers. Because Blue has kind of slowed down on the villager production. And Rafed here is gonna put this castle back here. It's weird, if I say Red's name, like Red's actual username, it just sounds like I've, like, grotesquely mispronounced the color red. And Blue's gonna get chemistry. I think Blue is gonna go... Oh, Blue's gonna get crenellations, so Red really doesn't have a chance on water. Crenellations adds 3 range to these Teuton castles here. Blue's gonna get handcart as well, and chemistry, so I think Blue is gonna go for cannon galleons. Now, this transport ship came over to help the monk get the relic, but I think Blue's forgotten about it, so that's just gonna sit there. Blue has got a really good position. Red finally has the resources, but it doesn't have enough buildings. And Red keeps making transport ships. Red is really stubborn about going onto water here. And Red gets the castle up, so that it gives Red the building to go up. And, yep, 3 cannon galleons training for Blue. They're not elite, so I don't think they do as much damage, and they might fire a little slower. I've actually never used on, like, just normal cannon galleons. I always upgrade them to elite before training them, which may be a mistake from me, but I used cannon galleons most prominently when I only played unranked diplomacy games, so can you really blame me for what I did 2 years ago? And it's still a habit now. But, I mean, they're still a good siege unit. Blue seems to have queued them up behind the other ships, though. So, it'll be a little bit longer until Blue has those. And Red might have a chance to do something by then. And Red's finally going for Navy. Thank you, Red. He's gonna make fire galleys. And Ethiopians don't get any good ships, really. They don't get any fully upgraded ships. No, like, Imperial Age tier ships other than Galleon. And, you know, Cannon Galleon, but it's not elite. They do get shipwright, though. They get pretty lackluster ships, but still get shipwright. Whereas Teutons actually get fast fires. I don't think they get galleons. Oh, no, they do. Wait, Teutons actually have a really good dock tech tree. That's surprising. And these fire galleys are not going to do anything against fast fire ships. Those go down in seconds. Red is up to him, but has no sort of plan. They're not even doing damage to the ships. And all the transport ships go down. Blue's getting Galleon now, and okay, yeah, Red just Red just taps out. No GG at all. Oh, and Red's castle was getting hit by the cannon galleons. So, pretty unfortunate. Red's biggest mistake there was just not making any navy. Red had a ton of chances, and then just never committed to it. But I do think the moves from Red to transport to all of the islands, that was very good. That's kind of what you want to do on water, to distract from water so you can take over water. But Red did not take over water. It did get a lot of good damage in the early game, though, so if Red had... Oh, and Blue had very inefficient wood lines up there. Never moved or re-lumber camped. Alright. There was some good stuff there. There were obviously a few small errors, but nothing like we've seen in games before. I think in past games there's just been a ton of big errors, especially the last one, which is what threw me off so much. But I think since it's such minor errors, it's definitely above 1,000 ELO. I really want to say 1,200, but that might be too high. And if you're unfamiliar with the way I do guess the ELO, I think I've decided on if you're 50 points within either player, you win. Since I did either player, I didn't want it to be, you know, anything too large, so it's 50. You've got to be, or I've really got to be pretty precise. You're not required to play if you're watching. I think I'm gonna guess 1,200. That might be a little ambitious. It might even be too low. I hope it's not as low as I was last time compared to the ELO. Yeah, I'm gonna go 1,200. We'll see in just a second, I guess. All right. No chat after the game. Sometimes we've seen chat after the game. Whether it be toxic or wholesome. I don't know why I'm looking through that. I've already seen the stats. Alright, 1,200. What? Really? Maybe I guess I was too generous. They played really well for 900 ELO on a water map. I feel like a few years ago, if you were watching 900 ELO on a water map, you wouldn't have seen Navy from either player. I guess that explains Red's stubbornness and the civ choices, if it wasn't random, but like, they did what you're supposed to do on the map. That kind of went the same way my game went. I'm impressed. Maybe a bit too generous, but that was pretty good. I mean, I know the last time I went 900 ELO, I was horribly off, so I didn't really want to go 900 ELO again, but really good from these two. Wow. I'm getting worse at guess the ELO. This is this is pretty bad. I mean, at least it's a good outcome this time, but I need to get better at this game. Wow. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I just do whatever these guys do. If you get a water map, it was really good.